Welcome to a MainelyDIY.com video.
Hi, today at Mainly DIY we're going to make a card. It's kind of a fun fold card, and one of the main benefits of this card is sometimes you get these cardstock designs and maybe you really only want the corner of the design, so I'm going to show you how we make a little card out of that. This is the one I made out of it, one of them. So let me show you how I did that. So I'm taking my cardstock. What I'm doing is kind of giving an idea of how wide that is. That's this one's 4 3/4. So just to get the dimensions about right, I mean that they don't have to be exact. But I measured kind of the width of the card that I'm going to be making, and then I subtract an inch from that, so this would be 3 3/4. So I'm going to cut it right there. Okay, so basically my cards are whatever the width is, and then I take an inch off for the height. Okay, then I'm just going to take my little round over corner and we'll set that aside for the moment. And then we're going to take a piece of cardstock that is at least 1/4 inch narrower than the height. So, and this is 8.5 wide, just a piece of cardstock stripped off. And then we're going to score that. So what I'm going to do is, it's kind of hard, white on white there, but it's 8.5, so I'm going to take half of that, which is 4 1/4, score it there. And then I'm going to split this 4 1/4, so that's going to be 2 1/8. Okay, so let's get the scoreboard out of there, maybe you can see it a little better. So I scored the 8.5 in half, and then in half again. So I'm going to go ahead and fold it in half, and then I'm going to fold this back on itself, just like that. Okay, now I like to use my little embossing tool and put my name on it. So I am going to come over to the back side of this shorter piece and go ahead and put my little embossing thing. It's a great place to put a label, because you really should sign your work. Okay, so now I'm going to take some glue, and before I glue it, I'm actually going to round this corner and that corner. You could round these ones if you want, it's not necessary. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some glue on here, and I'm going to kind of line up closer to the bottom, so I think actually I will round those corners just to make sure it doesn't peek through. So I'm going to just I'm going to be lining up the bottom, not necessarily the edge, but what you need to do is make sure that that one, that this edge is hidden too. So I'm going to go ahead and put my glue on here, and I'm using a little bit of liquid glue because this is an action card, and I find liquid glue does a lot better for keeping it stable there. And you don't need a whole lot. I'm just kind of using the tip to smear it around a little bit. And then I'm going to kind of hold it folded, and because I want to make sure I cover the whole, you know, nothing peeks out from the card front, but I do kind of want to line the bottoms up. Okay, just like that. That's our card. And then I'm going to go ahead and stamp. Let me get out. And I just happen to have this cool stamp that says Ahoy Matey, which is just, I think, is perfect for this card. So I'm just going to go ahead and ink that up. Put it on my card, and then I'll come on the inside And just gonna, I have the journey is the reward. Then I'm gonna ink that up. Put it right there. And there you go. Simple as that. So we have that card. Let me just show you some other ones I am working on. See, these are the leftover pieces. So this would have been, this would have looked like that. And then I cut these pieces off, rounded my corners, and I've got my back all ready, so I actually think I'm going to round those corners too. And I'm going to go ahead and glue that up. This is some I cut off this piece. And again, I just kind of figured out how wide I wanted the card, and then subtracted an inch to make the height of the card. And then the back is about a 1/4 inch less than the height, and pretty much use an 8.5 by 11, but if I cut it wrong, you just kind of follow the same procedure, because it doesn't have to be lined up perfectly on the back. So we'll go ahead and glue this one. I think this piece was actually not as wide as 8.5 by 11. I got a little bit much glue on that one, so and then I will just line it up. Okay, there's another one. So this one I'm going to have, it's going to be a birthday card. So I'm going to go ahead and glue something on the inside. Okay, so here we go. There's that one. So that's would have looked about like that before I cut it. So I've got these pieces, and I'll probably find a project for those. Okay, so why do I glue it near the bottom? Is so that my card can stand up. Okay, so let's take a quick peek at the cards we just made. And a special thanks to Carrie. This was my inspiration card. Friend Carrie sent me this. So those are some quick fun fold cards, and you can put whatever you want on the inside. You can write like Carrie did, or maybe you want to put a birthday. I just use a scallop punch that I've had for years and stamped happy birthday on it. So lots of options.